We're going to be making some deer beer chili on this episode of Metalneck Outdoors. Hey y'all, hope everybody's having a good day out there. On this episode of Metalneck Outdoors, we're going to be making deer beer chili. It's something I learned to make when I was a little boy, and I think I want to share it with you. Before we get started, please go down and hit that subscribe button. By you doing that, that helps us to further our channel and also gives you updates on any time we post a video. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to run a detailed list of the ingredients up on the screen for you to see. That way you can go to your local store and purchase these items to where you can make this delicious bowl of chili. First off, I'm going to go over with you what I got here. I've got 1 pound of ground venison. One thing about this is I have fat added to mine. If you do not add fat to yours, then in your pan that you're going to be browning your meat in, you're going to want to add a couple tablespoons of olive oil or vegetable oil. Next, in my recipe, I have a 1/4 cup of jalapenos, a 1/2 cup of diced onions, 14.5 ounces of tomato paste, 14.5 ounces of diced tomatoes, and 14.5 ounces of kidney beans drained. The next thing that we have here is one of the most important other than the venison is the French's Chili-O mix. Like I said, you can purchase these items at your local Walmarts or places like that, some of the larger grocery stores. With that being said, guys, what we're going to do now is we're going to start adding these ingredients, and let's get this meat browned. Okay guys, in a 4-quart pot, let's add that 1 pound of ground venison. We're going to add our jalapenos. And our diced onions. Give that a good stir. Okay guys, that's pretty simple on that part right there. Just keep stirring that meat and getting it browned. The next step after that will be adding the rest of the ingredients. This part here might be kind of boring to you, but I'm going to go over how I learned how to make this chili. And what it was, unfortunately, when I was a young child, in my pre-teens, I unfortunately lost my father. But fortunately, I ended up having an uncle that really loved the outdoors, and he knew my enthusiasm and my love for the outdoors. So what he did was he took it on himself to start coming and picking me up on Friday afternoons after school or Saturday mornings, and we'd go do some activities together. We'd go fishing, we'd go hunting, things like that my father couldn't do with me. And one thing he did, the little short story behind this is he took it on himself, and he leased some property basically and started a hunting club. Is one of the best hearted people you ever meet in your life. I think he leased 1,200 acres, and I can't remember off bat how many people were members of that club. But he only charged like $120 a member for the club. It had an old camp house on it which didn't have any power, didn't have any running water, and basically the heat source was a fireplace, and you had to bring your own water. It had a well out front, but it was a contaminated well. So basically what went on with this club is, it wasn't the very best of hunting clubs. It wasn't. We hunted all winter long and didn't see a deer. People thought they seen deer, but we didn't see a deer. Well, about January, and here in Alabama during those times, hunting season only lasted, deer season only lasted to the end of January. So my uncle finally decided, hey, let's get a pack of hounds in here and see if we can find something. So basically what he did, we all got out, took our standards out, got our shotguns ready. Well, the dogs cut loose, and I heard a shot. Like, somebody seen something, somebody got something. And so basically, we all gathered back up at the camp house, and it was my uncle of all people. He took a small button buck. The look on his face was amazing because, you know, we hadn't seen any deer on this place, so I guess he was kind of shocked too, but we were all kind of glad. So basically what he did was kind of donated that deer to the club for club meat. So what we did, or what he did, he cleaned the deer there, and we took the back straps out of it, and he diced those things up, and he said, well, we're gonna make us a camp meal. So what he did was we went into the camp house, and he had like a little small gas range or burner there on one little Coleman top. So he got that deer meat out, started browning it. Then nobody had any water, but this being the early 80s, somebody had some beer in their truck. And so my uncle said, hey, let's replace the water that we'd normally put in with beer. So he browned that deer up, and he actually had, I'm not sure at the time if it was the same chili-o powder or what, or the seasoning, but he had a form of that because he was an over-the-road truck driver. So while he was out in, I think, Texas or somewhere like that, he happened to pick up some chili mix. So long story short, he mixed all that together. Nobody had any bowls. All we had was, because I was hunting with a lot of the old timers, was the little styrofoam coffee cups and plastic spoons. I'm going to tell you what, in January, that day, it's probably 20 degrees. He made that chili with that beer, and it just gives a unique taste to it that I can't explain. You'll just have to try the chili for you to understand what it tastes like. And he made that chili, and we sat out on that porch at the hunting camp that day with it 20 degrees, watching the steam come up out of that styrofoam cup from that chili. But I want to tell you what, to this day, I can't get that out of my head, because a man took me into his life that he didn't have to, because I lost my father, and taught me how to hunt and taught me how to fish. But to this day, I can still remember. He's no longer here, but I love that man just like he was my father. So to this day, every time I make this chili during the cold time of the year, I have to eat it in a styrofoam cup sitting on the porch. I don't know if that story means anything to you, but it does to me, and I hope you like it. But stick around. Let's get back to making this chili here, and hopefully you can go make it. But wait and go eat it on the front porch when it's frosty outside, and I promise you, you'll remember that the rest of your life. Okay guys, thank you for sticking around with me, listening to my babbling little story there. But this next part's pretty simple. Let's take the chili-o mix. Be sure we add all of it in. Stir it in real well. Next, add your diced tomatoes. Your tomato sauce, and basically what this tomato sauce does is help to thicken your chili up a little bit. Your kidney beans. And next is your choice of whatever brew beer you like. I don't show it being in a can because I'm not getting sponsored by none of the big fancy companies, but add your beer in, which is approximately 12 ounces of beer. And let's stir this in good. Be sure we get those seasonings mixed in real well. right, guys, next step. Let's go move this thing back over here to the stove top, and what we're going to do then is we're going to let it come to a boil, then turn it down on medium and let it sit there and simmer for about 30 to 45 minutes. Okay guys, there it is, the finished product. I don't know if I'm just weird or not, but people have told me that, but if you've never tried peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with your chili, you don't know what you're missing. At least give it a try. I promise you'll like it. If you like PB&J and you like chili, the combination is something else. At least give it a try. Before I forget, guys, I'd like to welcome on board a couple of co-sponsors that we have. One of them is Guardian Hunting. What these folks do is they build locks for your tree stand, locks for your game camera, waterproof SD card holders, and waterproof broadhead holders. Any of you guys that out checking your game cameras, you know that it could rain at any time, or it does rain on you. And a lot of times if you're not careful, you can ruin those SD cards. So that's a good item to have, as a waterproof case for those cards that you can just keep stuffed away in your backpack. The other one is Axis camera arms. And what these folks do is they've come out with a camera arm that's actually a camera arm that comes from above you. And what that kind of does is, I'm a lefty, I shoot left-handed, my son shoots left-handed, and most of your camera arms that's on the market today are meant for a right-hand hunter. So it's kind of complicated for a lefty to try to shoot and operate a camera arm at the same time for self-filming his hunts. So what these guys have done is come up with a camera arm that comes from above out in front of you. So that's a product that I'm really proud to have, and I'm looking forward to trying it out this deer season and seeing how it goes. If you want to know any more information about those two companies, we'll put a link in the description below, and also you can go to www.metalneckoutdoors.com and scroll to the bottom, and down there will be our co-sponsors, and you can click on their website there and see everything that these guys have to offer. I hope you guys got something out of this video today, and maybe it's something useful that you can use. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to sit here and enjoy me some of this deer chili. But if you guys got something out of it, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps us a lot. And follow us on any of our social media outlets such as Instagram, Facebook. And you can also contact us on the World Wide Web at www.metalneckoutdoors.com. Thanks for watching, guys, and God bless.